As soon as he mentioned the ark of God, Eli fell over backwards from his seat by the side of the gate, and his neck was broken and he died. For the man was old and heavy. He had judged Israel 40 years. It is Monday, the 7th day of August, 2023. Clive Walsh here, inviting you to join me for the reading of our devotional thought for today. And I'm reading from the devotional book, which is entitled Truth for Life by pastor and author Alistair Begg. Today's devotional thought is the weight of glory. That's the weight of glory. And the verse today is 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 18, which reads, As soon as he mentioned the ark of God, Eli fell over backwards from his seat by the side of the gate, and his neck was broken and he died. For the man was old and heavy. He had judged Israel 40 years. That's 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 18. Alistair Begg writes, Not many places in the Bible mention someone's weight. This verse, then, ought to give us a pause as we consider its significance. It may have seemed that Eli's heaviness is mentioned simply to explain the physical reality of his death, but it's actually more than that. Earlier in 1 Samuel chapter 2, verses 12 through 15, the narrator tells us that Eli's son had a custom of using a three-pronged fork to dig into the meat offered for sacrifice in order to take a portion for themselves and their family from the meat that belonged to God. They despised the tabernacle, the place where God had appointed for his own dwelling place among his people, decided that their own earthly longings and selfish preoccupation took precedence over his glory. In one sense, God's glory had been stolen and wrapped around Eli's belly. His girth was a physical expression of the sin being perpetuated and promoted by the priest of Shiloh. This is clearer in the writer's original Hebrew, where the word heavy is translated kabed. It is the verbal form of the word kabab, which is translated glory. The writer is making a play on words, showing that those who fattened on themselves and their own significance seek to rob God of his glory. They treat him as if he was light and may be manipulated. And so, regarding themselves as heavy, they look to take precedence in everything. Nevertheless, the sun eventually set, or rather, events came crashing down on Eli's life, and he died miserably. He is now one of several individuals in the Bible, particularly in the realm of priestly or pastoral function, who stands as warning against the presupposition captured by Paul's word, Let everyone who thinks he stand takes heed lest he fall. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12. This wisdom is not only for individuals who believe themselves to be unassailable, though it certainly is for them. It is also a striking warning to every assembly of God's people. Let us hate the thought that in our churches we might ever take from the glory that God deserves in order to serve, enrich, or enjoy ourselves. This Sunday, as you head to your church, remember that you are there first and foremost, not for yourself, but to glorify your majestic, transcendent, glorious Lord and encourage his people. A good reminder indeed, the purpose why we gather with God's people. To glorify his magnificent, transcendent, glorious Lord that we serve, and to encourage his people, our fellow brothers and sisters. That concludes our devotional thought for this 7th day of August, 2023. And those of you reading through the scriptures in a year, your assignment is Psalm 72 and 73, as well as the book of Acts, chapter 26. And may the Lord richly bless you and give you a great week.